back with another interview video. And this spirit, really haven't gotten into too much with him. I have had a lot of ladies come forward. I said, hey, you know, do I have any gentlemen that are ready to go out? And I did have some 2 gentlemen step forward for me, because I really can't handle any more than 2. As you can see, I have a nice coffee. I'm already drained, and we haven't even started yet. So yeah, 2 spirits can completely drain me. The next day I am like sleeping in bed. So I really can't do any more than 2, so these 2 gentlemen step forward. Now the first one, he chose this doll. This is a duck house doll. You can see it still has his hang tag. Very good condition, no cracks, no breaks, no chips, no nothing. Costume, a little dirty because I have pets. There's like some pet hair on it. And you can see there's, you know, some feathers and stuff on him. But otherwise, he's in perfect condition. He's in perfect shape. Now the spirit that wants that chose this doll, his name is Gordon. And I asked Gordon what his claim to fame was, and Gordon said that he was a witch. Now, a lot of you think that a witch is a female annotation, and a wizard would be for a male, and that's not necessarily true. Witch actually refers to anybody that practices Wicca. Wizard, if you really want to get into the definition of it, wizard is somebody that walks a little bit on the darker side. Witch is, when you say witch, it really kind of means white witchcraft. That's supposed to be the annotation for it, that you really don't do anything dark. Now, you're thinking, well, you know, then what do you call a female witch that walks on the dark side? That would be a sorceress. So, in a way, I guess you could say that I am more sorceress than I am a witch, even though my name is Witch Willow. But I call myself a necromantic witch because most of what I do goes through spirit work. So whether it's good, bad, or in between, it all goes through spirit. So I do call myself a necromantic witch. I never just call myself a witch, but you know, you're bound by how many characters you can put up there. And necromantic witch Willow just didn't have the same ring to it when I was creating the YouTube. So Witch Willow it is. And Gordon himself is a witch. He is not a sorcerer. He is not a necromancer. He is a witch. So that means that he mostly walks on the white side. I really haven't talked to him too much, but like, we're all human, so we get angry, and sometimes we might do certain things. But for the most part, when you say witch, and especially if you're talking about males, you're talking about white magic. So Gordon himself did say he was a witch, and he, you know, I said, okay, you don't consider yourself a witch. Or now the term warlock, that's another thing. The term warlock, that definitely refers to somebody that, like me, works with the dead, definitely has no qualms about doing black magic. And that definitely does refer to males. You would not call a female a warlock. So he has referred to himself as a witch. Now he is from the modern day. I have a feeling, and I really haven't talked to him, but I get the feeling that he was part of the new wave of Wicca that really started coming around like in the 40s and 50s. when it was becoming a little less stigmatic and coming out in the open. And then, of course, like in the hippie days of the 60s and 70s, it really wasn't given a, you know, the sideways glances as it was, because witchcraft kind of that time period kind of adapted with the peace, love, and happiness. You know, the herbology, they were like, you know, the yoga was getting big, and meditation was getting big, and, you know, certain aspects of Wicca fall in line with that. So it was kind of a good time to be a witch back then, because everybody was kind of going a little new age, and what was old became new again, meaning the old traditions of witchcraft were discovered anew and considered part of the New Age movement. So it was a good time to be a witch during that time, and I kind of get the feeling he is from that time period. But again, I haven't talked to him. So without further delay and me running my mouth, let's have a chat with Gordon. So now, Gordon, am I right when I say that you are from, like, the new age of witchcraft that came about in the 20th century? That's what I thought. I'm like getting a time period of like 56 to 58, like somewhere around there. Gordon, can you tell me what year you were born in? I'm getting like a lot of different dates. Okay. What year were you physically born? Not born into this, that, or anything else. What year was your physical body brought into this world by your mother? Okay, so here we have the problems with the 3s, the 6s, and the 8s, because they all kind of... Because what happens is I don't really hear it. I see the number, and it kind of gets a little fuzzy. It's 1920-something. 1920 what? 1923? Okay, so you were born in 1923. Okay. Did you serve in World War II? Were you a Marine? Marine that became a witch. Okay. All right, so talk to me, Gordon. Tell me about your life. He's from California. The town starts with a P? Are you saying Petaluma? Petaluma, California. That's where you were born and grew up? Okay. Keep talking. Right out of high school, he joined up with the Marines. And where were you shipped? He served in the Pacific. Now, were you shipboard, or were you on? He was on an island. It was one of the atolls. Were you, see, I'm not too well versed on the Pacific Theater during World War II. I do have a better idea of the European theater. So I'm not really sure what fighting took place where during the war. Did you just say Korea? What about Korea? He says he was stationed in Korea, but was that during the war you were stationed in Korea? No. Okay. Do you not want to talk about the war? I was like seeing... It was like on one of the Japanese held islands out there, and I feel... I heard the word atoll, so I don't really think it was like an island. I think it was one of the atolls. And from what I remember, there was like some really heavy fighting. It was really, really gruesome. And I don't know if that was one of them, but he doesn't want to talk about it. I kind of got some glimpses of what he was showing me, and it really wasn't, and that kind of hurts. I don't know if it's me or I don't know if it's him, but there's like a lot of pressure on this arm, so I'm just going to switch. So he really didn't want to talk about it. So I'm really not going to press him on that. But I do want to ask you something because it actually does relate. So I really kind of need you to answer it. Now, you did not grow up in the Wicca religion, is that correct? He grew up Baptist, he said. He was a Baptist. I want to ask you something, okay? And I know you don't want to talk about the war, but it does kind of pertain to it in a way, so I need to ask. Is what you saw during the war and everything that you went through, is that one of the reasons why you converted to witchcraft? Okay, so that's what I needed to know, and I will not press you anymore about the war. Deal? Unless there's a caveat, unless it pertains to your later decisions in life. Is that fair enough? Okay, good deal. All right, so now you were stationed in Korea after the war, is that correct? Okay. He's mentioning Buddhism. Was Buddhism really big in Korea? When did you go to Cambodia? In between, so in between when the war ended and you were actually stationed in Korea, you had some time? Is that what you're saying? You had some leave? Okay, and that's when you went to Cambodia? Okay. Okay. The temples. So the ancient temples, you went on a tour, you saw the ancient temples, and they were, you know, beautiful and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then you found you went to a Buddhist temple. Okay. Now, they normally don't allow people in there, right? Am I wrong about that? No, they don't. Okay. So, There was a celebration, some sort of celebration, and the monks were out and about. And he started a conversation with a monk. And the monk talked about their beliefs and their religion. So when he got back to Korea, he started like researching what he could and trying to learn what he could. And whenever he had leave, he would go back to he would go to India, he would go to Cambodia. So he was like really trying to research and learn about Buddhism. And so at first he converted to Buddhism. Were you still in the Marines when, okay, did you serve in the Korean War? He said he discharged in 51. He discharged in 51 and he went back to Cambodia. How long did you stay in Cambodia? I think he said 4 months. Now, did you come back to the United... He didn't come back to the United States. Did you stay in Asia? No, he didn't stay in Asia. Where were you? He was in Belgium. Why were you in Belgium, darling? He was working for the government. In what capacity were you working in the government? It was our government, right? The U.S. government? Were you working as like a spy? No, he wasn't. It was something like some sort of research. He said research, but I'm not... Was it like scientific? It wasn't scientific research. Weaponry or something? No. He says he was working for our government. And he said he was working in research. And he was in Belgium. But he won't tell me more than that. So it makes me wonder, what's the little research he was looking for? Because I see him like searching through paperwork. He's tracking. He's tracking something. What were you tracking? He said something was missing and he was tracking it. For us, for our government. Yes. What was it? Are you going to tell me what it was? I'm not quite understanding. It's not like he's trying to hide it, but I'm not understanding what he's showing me. It's like a couple of different things. It's like he's showing me like paperwork, but I can't see what's on the paperwork. And he wasn't tracking money so much. No, that would have been over by then, wouldn't it? Were you tracking what the Nazis had taken? Were you trying to track down? He was trying to track down what the Nazis had taken. He was compiling research. Now, was it just what they had taken? Were you looking for, like, people as well? He was going through all of the Nazi records and trying to unravel all of it. He was not alone, but I mean, I just see like piles of paperwork on the table from him, and it was a lot. I got the feeling that he got like frustrated a lot because there was just, the record keeping was so haphazard. And he was saying, I don't know how anybody kept track of anything. And I do see him. He's just like, there were some nights when he would just be like, I gotta take these out. He would just be like this at the table. Just be like, he was like so frustrated because he would find a line and he would start tracking it and it would disappear and then it would show up over here, but it wasn't anywhere where it was supposed to be, where this line had said it was heading here, and then he'd find it over here, but then after over here it would disappear again. And I can see him very frustrated with that. So I have a feeling a lot of like his frustration, I think that's why he got deeper and deeper into Buddhism, because he was trying to let some of this go, like meditate, let some of this go, and kind of cleanse like his memory of the atrocities he saw and the atrocities that he was tracking. Yeah, I'm on the money with that. He's like, Buddhism was a great relief for him for all the garbage that he was like, he said the garbage that was accumulating on him. But Buddhism wasn't enough because he felt that the garbage was still accumulating. And I get the feeling that he was in Germany at one point, and it was Frau something. Frau Stemmler or Steimler or something like that. And she was like, she would have been like what we would call a Reiki worker, a Reiki master, but they didn't really have Reiki masters. And he went to her to try to get this off, and I think that is how you found out about witchcraft. Am I right? Because she worked as a witch, but she worked in energy, and that's how he got into witchcraft. He said that was the way to, he said, I found the way to cleanse myself. Through witchcraft. He said he was able to figure out, sweetheart, are you grabbing my wrist? Because it's a lot of pressure. I need you to let go of my hand. Let go of my hand and my wrist, and just on this, okay? Just on the pendulum. You don't have to hold me, okay? Because I can feel your grip, and it kind of hurts. You gotta let it go. Thank you. Okay. So now I can feel him over here. Gordon, I know you're not trying to hurt me, Gordon, but it's just like, you know, I'm more adept at speaking. You don't have to try so hard, because like my aura is pretty powerful. You don't have to try so hard to interact with me. You can just like very easily, very gently, like Soft touch, you know what I mean? Okay. So, so he found ways to like cleanse himself and let stuff go. And when he did the Wicca, like the answers started coming to him because he was connecting on a different level. He figured out how to connect on to a different level of the universe through Wicca, and the trails that would just disappear, the connection, that missing link, that connection would come to him, and he would search for it and he would find it. So it did help him a lot in his work. He retired from the military. See, he was still stationed. No, well, he had retired from the military, and he left the military in 51. I'm sorry, he retired from the government in 78. Was it? Are you saying 70, 79? In 79, he retired from the government. I want to say he was living in New Jersey at that point. And did you like live out the rest of your years in Jersey? Okay. So you lived out the rest of your life in New Jersey. Okay. What year did you die, sweetie? He's saying 1984. That's still a little young, considering. I think he's saying he had pancreatic cancer. He had a lot of ulcers too. A lot of them. I think he said he had like 4 ulcer surgeries. So, did you practice Wicca all the way to the end? You did. Okay. So, what would you like to do? In what way do you want to, like, because you said that you wanted to, like, be helpful, right? So you want to help somebody with their... He wants to help somebody with their Wicca, and he also wants to... He wants to help keep garbage from accumulating in your life so that you don't have to go through everything that he had a lot of ulcers because of all the crap. And I want to say that part of him had like PTSD, and he used the Wicca to help cope. But Wicca can only help so much. It was still like ingrained in him, so he wants to help somebody. He wants to kind of like cleanse, like almost like in a Reiki master way, cleanse the garbage out of your life and help. I saw that. Help you with Wicca as well. Help you manifest what you put out there. Okay, so Gordon, is there anything else that I need to cover with you? Is there anything else that you want to say? You're all done? We're good here? Okay. So that is Gordon. That is his life story. That is what he is looking for and he wants to do. If you are interested in Gordon, he will be up on both my eBay and on the Witchery. Remember, if you buy through the Witchery, it is actually going to be cheaper because I don't have to pay the eBay fees of 10%. So if you are interested, he is going to be, by the time this video is up, he is going to be listed on both the eBay and the Witchery. Both of those links are going to be in the description box, so that you can go to either one of them. So I think that's going to be it with Gordon. As you could tell from the discussion I had, he does have power. I could literally, like, when I was holding the pendulum, I could kind of feel like the grip. So if you've noticed in my videos, sometimes like my arm will do a little jerk when I do this. That's because sometimes the spirits, instead of just using the pendulum, they'll actually like have me here and do it like that, because it's easier to make contact with me and use my power than it is with the pendulum. With Gordon, he had me like right here, and his grip was pretty firm, and that's why I had to tell him, you gotta let go. He was not trying to hurt me. I just think it's a matter of with people who have like dimmer auras, he needed to like exude a little more power. That's why I told him he has to have a soft touch. But I mean, as you can see, I don't have any bruises. It was just uncomfortable because he was like holding it like right here, and I have very tender joints. But once I told him, you know, soft touch, he actually started holding me here, which was fine. That was better. There wasn't as much pressure. So I think he understands if he holds you here to guide your pendulum, it's better. So he's apologizing. He says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, and it's okay. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. But yeah, when you're talking with somebody, Gordon, you don't have to like hold their arm. Just, yeah, do the fingertips like you did at the end. Perfect. So that is Gordon. He is very talkative. He's very forthcoming. I had very little trouble understanding what he was saying to me. So he is going to come in pretty clear when you're talking to him, either using the pendulum or if you use the spirit board. Again, go read the Ouija story. I am going to try to work on making a line of spirit boards that are charmed, the way the scrying mirrors are, because I know some people there are a lot of people that can't hear spirits the way I can, and working with the pendulum, it's like yes, no, or maybe answers, and it's very difficult to like discern certain things. So that is something I'm going to try to work on. But in the meantime, he is very clear on what in presenting himself. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. So that is it for Gordon. And by the time you see this video, he is going to be live. So if you are interested in Gordon and what he has to offer, please snap him up quickly. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell button so you'll be the first ones to see any videos that come up. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.